When you look at the rationale behind the invasion of Ukraine, it actually dates back from very ancient history of Russia, dating back to the what they call the Rus of Kiev. So basically, it's more what we call a revisionist vision of history that not only applies to Soviet Union, but an idea that Russia must have a significant role on the world stage.
Why should the world be worried about the rise of imperialism?
The international order, the international architecture that was put in place after World War II, of course, it has been far from perfect. It did not prevent wars from happening. It did not prevent great power competitions, but at least it provided a framework for dialogue, for cooperation with values, principles, rules that everyone agreed to respect and to protect. And now what we're seeing is that this architecture is de facto crumbling because of the rise of unilateralism, because of the development of alternative models and attempts to change the rules to favor these agendas of what Macron called contemporary imperialism in his speech at the United Nations General Assembly.
And why do you think we are seeing, the age of imperialism returning?
If you look at how Russia presents the 19th century as the century of humiliation, how Putin, as we already said, mentioned the collapse of the Soviet Union as the main catastrophe. And that goes along with the feeling that the West is in decline based on the failure of some military operations in the Middle East or in Africa, the economic difficulties resulting from the 2008 financial crisis, or even internal divisions such as Brexit. And so all in all, these countries are convinced that the West is in decline, that this is also why they're being more assertive. And it will be, of course, interesting to see how these events are factored in by China for the future. But all in all, it means that the world is a less safer place because of this return of imperialism. And that was the main message of the French president, Emmanuel Macron, in his speech at the United Nations General Assembly.
What do you think democracies can do to counter the rise of imperialism?
Well, they are actually doing a lot already, but obviously they have to step up. I mean, there are the kind of let's call them punitive measures that we are seeing now as a response to the Russia invasion of Ukraine. But there are also some long-term measures to try to defend the values and principles that are enshrined in democratic system. Democracies, if they want their survival on the long term, must also be able to make democracy attractive again. And this is a major line of effort.